And since you're a physical therapist, I would love for you to chat with us. Like, how did you prepare before you had the mastectomy, and, you know, anything you want to share with us? And I'm going to leave a link that you can go to her channel, and she has lots of great exercises so you can follow Jamie and do them at home too.
Yeah. So, I like you, I did a ton of yoga before. I've always really enjoyed yoga quite a bit. But to be perfectly honest, with 2 kids and working full time, it's just kind of hard to find the time for it. So I really dedicated myself to going to a yoga class at least once a week. And then I got really strong and just really flexible. So obviously after mastectomy, you can't use your arms for, you can't lift anything for 6 weeks. So I wanted my arms to be nice and strong, to have as much muscle mass to get ready for it as possible, because the more muscle you have, I mean, you're going to lose tons of muscle. So if you have more to begin with, and then, over time you're going to lose. So if you're here and this is a lot and this is a little, and you start here and you have a lot, it's 6 weeks, you're going to be here. But if you have very little and then you go down here, that rehab is going to be so much harder. And same goes for flexibility. So I had actually posted in one of my support groups before this. I was posting to people. I was just giving some free information about what people may want to be doing before and after the surgery. And one of my links was, I said, what to do before surgery: stretch. And someone had commented and they said, not so much before, but after. And I mean, obviously you want to stretch after and you want to do range of motion after. To me, that's kind of obvious, right? But people don't realize that, your fascia it's so important. People think about their body as bones, muscles, and skin. And they never think about the fascial system, which is that connective tissue that connects everything. So it's, I kind of talk about it like a 3-dimensional spider web. And people see it when you pull apart 2 chicken breasts, and it's that white spider web-like material in between. Mm-hmm. But what people don't realize is that our muscles are comprised of fascia. Our skin is comprised of fascia. That fascia is everywhere. And if it is not able to move and stretch in 3-dimensional pattern, you can get a lot of restrictions and a lot of dysfunction. And so I really wanted that to be able to move and flex, especially with the mastectomy, because I am on the younger side and my skin is on the thicker side. So even when I had the mastectomy, there's a couple different incision lines that the doctors can do. It really depends on kind of your skin type, your age, and things like that. So for me, my incision is on the side of my breast instead of being underneath. For multiple different reasons, but a big one that caught my eye when we were talking about it was they had said, because the skin's so taut, it's kind of like a tunnel. They have to lift it up and they're trying to see, right? And they're trying to dig in there and remove all that breast tissue. And if you're really tight through there, that's going to be difficult for them to do that. So if you do a lot of stretching and preparation, in my mind, it's going to make it a little bit easier for them to even do the procedure. So to me, I think
Yeah, I think I told you my plastic surgeon was like, we weren't sure if we were going to go straight to implants because they wanted to make sure my lymph nodes looked clear, and it did look clear, so we did. But he was like, you were really stretchy. It was easy to do. So I wonder if I was just lucky with my skin, or if it's because of yoga. I don't know.
Probably a little bit of both.
It was interesting to hear you say that. I love how you're explaining all of that.
Yeah. And this is all just my personal opinion. I haven't actually spoken to the doctors about that, but doctors don't really talk about much about fascia. Like they don't deal with it every day. I do as a physical therapist. The fascia that they work with is like the really thick abdominal fascia that fits over the abdomen. There's certain ones that they focus on, but they're not focusing on all that fascia everywhere because they don't have to deal with it. So I think it's imperative to be flexible and strong going into surgery.
So I love that. So thank you, Jamie. So to recap, before surgery, everyone is going to start to definitely bulk up as much as they can, right? With weights, resistance band, their own body weight, like all of those work, right? And stretch.
Yeah. And I mean, definitely we want to get our arms strong, right? Because we're not going to be using them, but even bigger, we want to get our legs strong because we can't use our arms. So if you think about when you roll out of bed in the morning, how much you actually use your arms, and you can't. So you need to make sure you have a really strong core and you have a really strong legs. Because just think about having your arms tied to your chest. I mean, that's essentially kind of where we were for 6 weeks, right? Don't use your arms. So you have to use your legs and your core for everything.
That's true. I do remember that. And I did feel lucky, which I'm sure you do too, because I was in such good shape before I had surgery. Pilates is actually another good one. You know,
Yes.
like I teach mat Pilates. So that's what I'm like, what came to mind is rolling like a ball, you know, like,
Yep.
and using all of that core work. So that's a really helpful reminder. Thank you for letting everyone know about how important it is to actually build strength. And, you know, it does help, as we know, working out and having any type of mindfulness creates endorphins. So when you are going through a stressful situation, it helps you balance everything out as well, for sure.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, mindset has everything to do with it too. You know, I did another thing with yoga. A lot of it was the meditation component. Um, you know, with mine, I mean, I'm sure you were going through a lot of stress and anxiety because you had a diagnosis. So you're scared and you're fearful and you're worried, and there's all of that. And on my end, it's like anxiety of, oh my gosh, what am I doing to my body? Like I had a really, really hard time deciding to do the surgery. It was not, some women find out they have the gene and they want them off and it's easy for them. It was not the case for me. Um, because you know, you'd almost think just because I am a physical therapist and I work in the medical field that it would be an easier decision, but it was actually harder because I see so many people that have complications after surgery, that I was really scared. I almost didn't have the surgery. I actually scheduled it once and canceled it. And then later on, I don't know, I guess intuition once again finally started telling me I needed to do this. And so once I finally decided to do it, I changed my mindset. I really just try to change my thought patterns of, this is scary, this is bad, I'm mutilating my body, what are the complications going to be? Anytime I had those thoughts come in, I would just try to push them out and then think, okay, nope, I need to do this. This is better for me. This is better for my family. I'm going to decrease my risk of having cancer. Hey, let's look at some benefits out of this. Like, essentially, I'm getting a tummy tuck and I'm getting new boobs. Like, how many thousands of women actually have the mommy makeover in a year, you know,
Right.
and they don't have complications. And you know why? Because they're not anxious about it. They're excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a
Oh,
lot
I
of
agree. Mindset.
complications of surgery, mindset, you know?
I think so. I mean, it's with everything. And of course, something could go wrong, but I think mindset is a huge part of it. And this might surprise you, but I was trying to decide whether I wanted the double mastectomy because of the same reasons you said. I'm like, I've never I didn't know a lot of people to talk to about this. I didn't know if this was the right choice. I thought about mutilating my body. You know, it was a lot that came at me at one time. And you know, how I made my decision was my doctor found a lump in my left breast, and it's my dog. My doctor found a lump in my left breast, and when I had the MRI, there was also a tumor in my right breast.
Oh my gosh.
So whenever that happened, I was like, okay, I'm doing it. You
Yeah.
know, like these breasts have been very bad.
Yeah.
And you know, but that's what it took for me. So I think it's a very hard decision whether you have cancer or you want to do it for preventative. It's a huge deal. And I agree with you. I changed my mindset and I did a ton of meditating and I looked at the positive about everything, and it definitely made a difference. So I am with you on that. And hopefully that Jamie and I can both be here for you through our channels to help you with that mindset, because for us, it made the biggest difference too.
Definitely.
So thank you so much. What were you going to say?
I'm just going to say it's too bad we didn't have each other in the beginning, because that's the thing. I felt the same way. I kind of felt alone. I didn't know anyone to talk to. So once again, I think that's why I started my channel and why you started your channel. We just want to be here to support any other women that have to go through this.
Yes, definitely. I agree. Well, I'm so happy that we did this, and I look forward to us collaborating and continuing to connect in the future.
Yeah.
So, and I'll
Thanks for
have
having me.
Jamie's, yeah, I'll have her links below so everyone can start to follow her channel too.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Bye, everyone.